Alright, brothers, so we have some brand new updates straight from the Space Marine 2 dev team, because there's one feature in particular for the upcoming Siege mode that you guys absolutely hate, and thankfully the dev team opens up about this and also offers some insight into what they potentially could be doing going forward. And the big question is, will we get an update where we can actually go through Siege mode in the entire experience just facing off against Tyranids, for example, while the devs respond? Plus, we gotta talk about Year 2 of Space Marine 2, we have some huge leaks about that one, and also that upcoming brand new class, some more details about that one. But we'll also be going over some brand new replies from the dev team also on the Discord side of things. I had some things to say there. And yes, we're going over your top comments, so be sure to leave a comment down below. And if you are new, don't be afraid to join the OWG army. Smack that subscribe button to stay in the know about all things Space Marine 2. Alright, so here we go. We gotta talk about one of the more controversial features of Siege mode, which a lot of you guys are not enjoying on the PTS. Check it out right here. Here's the headline. It says, "The timer shit just ain't it. Wave 28 failed for no other reason than the time ran out." So check it out. Let me start by saying Siege mode is without a doubt the most fun I have ever had in this game. It encapsulates everything great about the combat and the feeling of a few men holding off an entire army. Some class combos are blatantly better than others, so you can really make yourself feel truly powerful by having something like Constant Aspects and Stalker Bolt Tack, Vanguard with Team Heal on Extremis and above, and Heavy for Plasma Cannon and Full Heal on Revive. That being said, the timer getting shorter and shorter as the waves progress, along with the full mission failure for not being able to wipe out the insane amount of hordes and Extremis and Terminus that are all spawned together. I felt really confident I could have made it to wave 30, and it was only me and one other guy, but holy crap, did that just drain all the wind out of my sails. Hopefully they take the criticism to heart and remove it entirely. It just has no place in a horde-like environment with so many enemies. And guess what? Yes, the dev team did notice all the complaints about this particular issue, and they did actually post out on the subreddit themselves. Check it out right here. Siege Timer, a note from the dev team. They go on to say this: "Dear players, we've heard your feedback about the timer in Siege mode, and we fully understand it. This design choice has been made to avoid technical issues, especially on consoles. The reason behind it is because killing lots of enemies causes memory fragmentation that we have no power over. We'll still look into what we can do to make sure it feels fair when you lose. Allowing infinite playtime for each wave would ultimately lead to crashes as the load accumulates. Thank you for your dedication." And first of all, I 100% agree with this sentiment right here, response. I've got a lot of respect for the directness of the communication from the devs, so kudos for the devs and coming out and saying it like it is. Even so, this was very much marketed as an infinite type mode where you could see how far you could push this. A lot of you guys probably wanted to see if you could do something insane like wave 50 or the impossible, could you get to wave 100? And that still seems to be the sentiment within the community, that you guys would really like to try that. And I gotta say, there are also some interesting ideas on how to solve this problem. Check it out right here. "Dear developers, we don't mind short reload time during Siege between waves compared to that stupid timer. Just force reload to reset engine load. We can wait 30 seconds to a minute if it means no timer." So check it out. Regarding the dev's explanation for timer in Siege mode, we get it. However, it still sucks for the experience. Wave mode in video games is meant to push waves more and more. Losing due to timer just won't cut for most, period. Instead, please kindly consider giving us reload time between waves. We won't mind it as much as a timer. If every 3 to 5 waves, hell, even every wave, I don't mind. There's a reload, full memory reset with some in-game excuse. You have a moment to catch a breath. More waves incoming. It's way better than the timer during waves. On higher waves, even between spawns, a short fade to black reload will be fine, just not timer. Engine limitation is understandable, though strange as World War Z with the same engine didn't have timers, but I can't believe there's no more clever ways around it than the stupid timer. That is strange, you know, the World War Z comparison there. So, Now it says, "Please consider it, as timer will kill the joy of Siege mode more than you think when it launches. It's supposed to be wave mode, fighting against waves, not timer mode, fighting against timer. You need to find a different way." And that is kind of the hope here, as the dev team did confirm once again that they are looking into it. But you know, I think resetting every wave is a bit much. They'd have to aim for, like this guy right here says, every 10 waves could have an elevator lift, or you get sent down to a recovery area that can have a relic stim ammo drop. then load back up after that and head up so that they can kind of, I guess, reset what is going on with the engine. But then again, it was noted that the waves get so crazy big by the time you get into like wave 26, 27, and so on, that in itself is the issue, that it doesn't matter necessarily if they reset, which means perhaps they could put more, I don't know, more extremist type enemies on the field as opposed to having tons and tons of enemies on screen all at once. There has to be a solution to this problem. So yeah, sound off. What do you guys think? What do you think would be the ultimate solution here? You know, one of the bigger complaints also is the fact that you cannot choose currently what enemy type you want to face off against during the entire siege experience. So if you want to go through the full run and face off against only Tyranids, currently that is not possible because every 5 waves it seems to bounce back and forth between Tyranids to Chaos and so on. So here is the question right here. Is there any chance that in the future we will be able to choose in advance who we will be fighting against? And the response here is as follows. Check it out. I've been reporting this already, maybe to add the option to select the kind of wave in private lobbies. So there is some kind of hope that this would be appearing in private lobbies. But then again, I think it would be really, really cool if we did have this option, of course, for everyone, not just private lobbies. I think Tyranids would be by far the most popular choice. Now also we have this question right here. Will there be a setting to remove Xbox Gamer from the quick join but keep the PS5 and PC? I have been kicked from the game by Xbox players more than 8 times after carrying them through hell and returned to the Emperor's Embrace. Has anyone else experienced this? Wow, okay. And then the response is, I don't think so. So don't hold your breath on that one. I don't think they're going to segment the communities like that. But also we have, hey, Missilift, since you are here, Battle Focus doesn't work with block. It's intentional change or a bug. I haven't found an answer yet. Some of you might have been experiencing this one. And the response is as follows. It's a bug and has been reported. So yeah, it looks like that one should be addressed, hopefully in like the next upcoming patch. Now, we also have this kind of a recap as to what they're looking into. So it says, okay, so basically about Siege as it is now in terms of gameplay, you like the following: being swarmed par the hordes and all the challenging aspects that comes with it, like facing multiple Terminus at once. I love that, by the way. That's just badass. Also, we have what we don't like: the timer post wave 15, the Cadian reinforcements are too weak, various issues, Dreadnought being dumb, performance issues, etc. So this is the stuff that they are currently looking into. But we got to talk about year 2, and more specifically, yes, that brand new class. It is confirmed we're getting a brand new class. They haven't said which one, but more and more it's really, really looking like it's gonna be the Tech Marine. Check it out. General collection of data and information about the new class, my thoughts and conclusions. Also, a lot of the leaks call this an engineer, which I again think is going to be a Tech Marine, but we have some brand new kind of like leaks here, as you can see, some new weapon types. We have the Plasma Exterminator right here. As you can see, it's on the model. Then we have 2 different melee options, a Power Axe and the Halbird. As you can see, it very much aligns with what we're seeing in the official images as well. It's just too perfect, too good to be true. It really does seem like this is going to be happening. Now, this post here has some very interesting things to say about this, so here we go. So skipping ahead here, it says the Tech Marine has a very wide range of skills and weapons. He's very versatile in both close and long range combat. I'll start with the features. Shoulder Bolter. Based on the data mine, we see that its use will be a special ability, for example, like the Tactical's Auspex. Apparently, it won't be much worse than Straban's Heavy Bolter, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. I won't dwell on this too much because everything is clear anyway. Perhaps in theory, Tech Marine may have another special ability, but there's no data on this at the moment. Next, I want to draw attention to the new primary weapon, the Plasma Exterminator. Sometimes I will refer to the tabletop Warhammer because all the roots come from there. The Plasma Exterminator is only available to the Inceptor squad. These are flying assault troopers in Gravis armor with rapid fire weapons, an example of which you could see in the picture. Now, according to the rules of the game, the Exterminator is a pistol, but in Space Marine 2, it will be a primary weapon. If you look at the rules of the board game and somehow try to rely on them, most likely it will be most damaging plasma weapon, perhaps due to the speed, which I'm down for. That sounds really badass. I really do currently like the plasma weapons in the game. And I really think we need more variety in that regard. So I am down for this weapon type. Next on the list, in the sample, we can see that Tech Marine uses a grab pistol, and we have hints on the data mine about the grab cannon, nothing about the pistol yet. It is not clear here. Maybe we will get a grab pistol in the future, or maybe the grab cannon will be an option instead of the forge bolter. Maybe gravity cannon will get stray band. Now, let's move on to the melee weapons, which I'm mostly curious about because I'm wanting more melee weapons so badly. Power Halbird. In tabletop 40K, this weapon is only available to a few custodians, Grey Knights, Sisters of Battle, for example, and our brother, the Tech Marine. Looking at his stats and appearance, two options come to mind. Our new brother can hold the halberd in the classic way, example with both hands, which means it will be a two-handed, or the developers will implement a mechanic so that he can help himself with a servo hand, which Tech Marine should have at least one, which frees up the second hand for a pistol and even for a primary weapon. Or they might even take the bulwark route with this and have several options on how you can do that. Because you got to remember that the bulwark now has the option to go two-handed as well, which is pretty cool. Now, we have this one right here. Again, based on the tabletop Warhammer, the Halberd will likely be faster than the Power Hammer, but will do less damage to balance things out. The Omnisci Halberd will 99% be a unique weapon for the Tech Marine, which, you know, you really do want classes to stand out. You don't want them to feel too similar. So yeah, again, I think that is super important right there. Now also, what do we got next? So next on the list, of course, is the Power Axe, a long-awaited weapon for all of us since the release. It will be optional. Most likely, they will give it to other classes. Bastion, Assault, maybe Tactical. I'm agreeing with a lot of what he's saying here. It makes a lot of sense. Similar in characteristics to the Power Sword, I think it will be slower but more powerful. Now, I want to talk about when would we get the Tech Marine. And of course, this is complete theorizing. My estimate is 30% in the update 9.0 and 70% in update 10. Let me explain. While we have not seen the Tech Marine model in the data mine, it looks like it is being actively developed, or Saber left it for dessert. Based on the data mine, apparently the Chaos skin pack is a priority, but in theory, by the end of the year past 1, the developers can provide us with both skins for Chaos and a new class. And he also does give his opinion that we would probably most likely get an Iron Hands update. It's the most logical thing. 8 out of 9 loyal legions have already received their updates. The last legion is left. And I've heard rumors floating around that that could actually happen. Now, according to other leaks, data mined that we would also be getting Black Templars in the future for year 2 content, which would be absolutely badass. So many of you are super hyped for that one. So that's something that is, according to leaks, expected to happen sometime in year 2, as well as upcoming Chaos cosmetics. Check out this right here. These guys look absolutely badass, and this is likely going to be part of the bigger PvP update that we would be expecting in the future sometime. But you know what is interesting is I did see some comments from the dev team saying, hey, you know what, we are really focusing up more on PvE more than anything. They have not been shy about saying that more recently, which I think is the wisest thing to disclose, considering that probably 99% of your audience is very much engaged in the PvE content, and they're super hyped for more horde mode stuff, you know, operations, and we are going to be getting more operations in the future as well. Now, also, guess what? A new enemy variant was leaked as well. Check it out right here, and this is for the Chaos. All right, lore bearers, what the hell is this right here? Check it out. We actually have some insight here. New Terminus Boss 1000 Suns operation. So apparently this is going to be a boss in Operation 11, supposedly, which we have to kill a corrupted astropath. He's like the Trigon and the Hive Tyrant. Nice. Looks really cool. Cannot wait to see him animated. He looks like he's going to be quite challenging for sure, just based on what I'm seeing from that one image. So cannot wait for that. I have to say the boss battles in this game are just very, very enjoyable. And also mentioning that, I think it would be cool if they could throw some of the bosses in horde mode. I think that'd be really neat. But anyway, let's go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It can end up right here in a future video. So let's do this. All right, starting out with this one right here. Terminus HP increased by 66%. Cool. Now give us more ammo. So that's one of the biggest requests for absolute difficulty. They're making some big changes there. But more ammo seems to be a big concern from you guys. Now, To me, this game has been able to capture the feel of games from the PS3, Xbox 360 generation, a testosterone-filled war game, and I'm all for it. Hell yes. And again, I mention it often, but I'm also super hyped for their other project, Turok Origins. It's going to be, again, one of those games that I think is going to feed nicely on nostalgia in a really good way, and it's going to be amazing rotating back and forth between the new content that we get for Space Marine 2 and Turok Origins. That's going to be, hell of a party. Now, we also have Saber. Give me dual-wielding power swords, bulwark, and my life is yours. Dude, that would be sick. I could just imagine it, and I think it would be hugely popular. But there it is. The latest happenings around Space Marine 2. As always, stay tuned for more news and updates about this one. I have you guys covered on this one. But thanks, guys, so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.